Hello students, this lecture is in continuation with my previous lecture on locational factors of industries. After this session, you will be able to understand the types of manufacturing industries, factors influencing the location of industries, geographical and non-geographical factors such as in geographical factor, raw material, power, labor, transport, market, water, sites, climate, these how they play role, and in non-geographical factors, how capital, government policies, industrial inertia, efficiency, organization, banking facilities and insurance play a crucial role. So let me initiate this session. Establishment of industry is the basic requirement for its successful operation. In this regard, it becomes quite imperative to understand the factors that influence locational benefit of different types of industries. In this session, special focus has been laid on the factors that influence location of an industry. It is also important to understand that same factors might not be that influential for two different types of industries. Therefore, before learning about the factors, we need to look at the type of manufacturing industries. So let me take you to different types of manufacturing industries. You may be thinking, what are different types of manufacturing industries? In order of historical development and degree of complexity, there are three major types of manufacturing industry. One is cottage industry. These are primitive or household industries. Second is workshop industry, such as village or community basis. And the third one is complex modern factory industry. So let me explain a little bit about the cottage industry. Cottage industry is characterized by hand manufacture of local raw material in the home and consumption of finished product in the same household, or in exceptional cases, sale of it in local market. Transportation and capital yield no influence on this type of industry, and it has little commercial importance. Among primitive people, this is the first type of manufacturing to develop. Until recent centuries, all manufacturing was of this type. Households or cottage industry, thousands of years old, reached its greatest development in Eastern and Southeastern Asia, and is still more important than in any other part in the world. It involves production with hands or simple tools by members of the family from local raw materials. Products include fabrics, clothing, mats, cordage, fish nets, hats, tools, shoes, from clay and stones, jewelries, ware, etc. Now let me take you to workshop industry. You may be thinking, what is this workshop industry? In many countries, the workshop industry was a natural outgrowth of household or cottage industry. Organization of a skilled craftsmen into guild gave birth to workshop industry, which in early stages used only hand power. In the Mediterranean region, Western Europe and Eastern North America, the development of power led to great expansion of workshop industry. During the Industrial Revolution in these areas, the workshop industry was replaced by modern manufacturing. In many areas of the world, such as in Latin America, workshop industry has remained a part of the total industrial structure. The Panama hats of Western Colombia and Ecuador, rugs and filigree work of Andean highlands, cigars of Cuba, needle embroidery in Paraguay, Brazil and Puerto Rico are some of the examples of workshop industry, known for their high quality and specializations. China has a huge workforce engaged in cottage and workshop industry. It followed a policy of simultaneously developing large-scale industry and its cottage and workshop industries, with use of both modern and primitive technology for a balanced industrial structure and supply of needed consumer goods. In Indonesia, particularly in Java, Workshop industries are more popular than large-scale modern industries. Let me come to our own country, India. In India, modern industry developed rapidly after World War II and independence. Nevertheless, cottage and workshop industry dominate industrial employment and output. They still process most of the foodstuffs, salt, spices, tobacco, handle 2/3 of the cane crop, saw logs and lumber, and make the bulk of the furniture. Now, after discussing these two types, let me explain you modern manufacturing. Manufacturing with the use of industrial machines developing during the last 200 years. It sprang up first in Great Britain and a few years later spread in New England and Middle Atlantic states of USA. Complex manufacturing with industrial machines sprang up in Germany, France, Italy, and other Western European countries, largely after 1850. The Great Industrialization, you may be aware of Great Industrialization, in Japan dates from early 1900, from that in the USSR largely from early 1920s. True modern manufacturing has evolved since 1900 and especially since World War I. Now, the question arises that what are the factors which influence the location of industry? As I mentioned you that there are two types of factors, geographical and non-geographical. Many important geographical factors involved in the location of individual industries are of relative significance. For example, availability of raw material, power resources, water, labor, market, and the transport facilities. Consequently, the factors influencing the location of industry can be divided into two broad categories. The first one is, as I mentioned, geographical factor, non-geographical factor. Geographical factor influencing the location of industry, the first prominent one is raw material. The significance of raw material in manufacturing industry is so fundamental that it needs no emphasizing. Indeed, the location of industrial enterprises is sometimes determined simply by location of raw material. Modern industry is so complex that a wide range of raw material is necessary for its growth. Further, we should bear in mind that finished product of one industry may well be the raw material of another. For example, pig iron produced by smelting industry serve as the raw material for the steel making industries. Industries which use heavy and bulky raw material in their primary stage in large quantities are usually located near the supply of raw material. It is true in case of raw material which lose weight in the process of manufacture or which cannot bear high transport cost or cannot be transported over long distance because of the perishable nature. This has been recognized since 1909 when Alfred Weber published his theory of location of industry. Some of the industry like watch and electronic industries use very wide range of light raw material, and the attractive influence of each separate material diminishes. The result in that such industries are often located with no reference to raw material and are sometimes referred to as footloose industries. You should remember this term, footloose industry, because a wide range of locations is possible within an area of sufficient population density. So now after the location, the second most important factor is power. Regular supply of power is a prerequisite for the localization of industries. Coal, mineral oil and hydroelectricity are the three important conventional sources of power. Most of the industries tend to concentrate at the source of the power. The iron and steel industry, which mainly depends on large quantities of coking coal as a source of power, are frequently tied to coal fields. Other like electrometallurgical and electrochemical industries, which are great users of cheap hydroelectricity power, are generally found in the areas of hydropower production. For instance, aluminium industry. As petroleum can be easily piped and electricity can be transmitted over long distance by wires, it is possible to disperse the industry over a large area. Thus, more than all other factors affecting the location of large and heavy industries, quite often they are established at a point which has the best economic advantage in obtaining power and raw material. For example, Tata Iron and Steel plant at Jamshedpur, the new aluminium producing unit at Korba, Chhattisgarh, the copper smelting plant at Khetri in Rajasthan, and the fertilizer factory at Nangal in Punjab. These are near the source of power and raw material deposits, although other factors have also played their role. So, after power, the third most important factor is labor. No one can deny that the prior existence of a labor force is attractive to industry unless there are strong reasons to the contrary. Labor supply is important in two respects. One is workers in large number are often required, and the second is people with a skill or technical expertise are needed. In our country, modern industry still requires a large number of workforce in spite of increasing mechanization. There is no problem in securing unskilled labor by locating such industries in large urban centers. Although the location of any industrial unit is determined after a careful balancing of all relevant factors, yet all light consumer good and agro-based industries generally require a plentiful of labor supply. So, after the labor, you may be thinking, what is the next factor? That is transport. Transport by land or water is necessary for the assembly of raw material and for the marketing of the finished products. The development of railways in India connecting the port towns with hinterland determined the location of many industries around Kolkata, Mumbai and Chennai. As industrial development also furthers the improvement of transport facilities, it is difficult to estimate how much a particular industry owes to original transport facilities available in particular area. And no doubt, after transport, market plays an important role. The entire process of manufacturing is useless until the finished good reaches the market. To market is essential for quick disposal of manufacturing goods. It helps in reducing the transport cost and enables the consumer to get things at cheaper rates. True that industries are seeking locations as near as possible to their market. It has been remarked that market attractions are now so great that a market location is being increasingly regarded as the normal one, and that a location elsewhere needs very strong justification. Ready markets is almost essential for perishable and heavy commodities. Sometimes there is a considerable material increases in weight, bulk or fragility during the process of manufacture, and in such cases industries tend to be market oriented. The first one is the water. Water is another important requirement for industries. Many industries are established near rivers, canals or lakes because of this particular reason. Iron and steel industries, textile industries and chemical industries, these require large quantities of water for their proper functioning. Another important factor is site. Site requirements for industrial development are of considerable significance. Sites generally should be flat and well served by adequate transport facilities. Large areas are required to build factories. Tendency to set up industry in rural areas. You may be thinking why? Because the cost of land has shot up in urban centers. So, after site, the next important factor is climate. Climate plays an important role in the establishment of industries at a place. Harsh climate is not much suitable for the establishment of any industry. There can be no industrial development in extremely hot, humid, dry or cold climate. The extreme type of climate of northwest India hinders the development of industries. In contrast to this, the moderate climate of west coastal area is quite congenial to the development of industries. Because of this reason, about 24% of India's modern industries are and 30% of India's industrial labor is concentrated in Maharashtra and Gujarat region alone. Now, let me discuss about non-geographical factor. Nowadays, alternative raw materials are also being used because of modern scientific and technological development. Availability of electric power supply over wider areas and the increasing mobility of labor have reduced the influence of geographical factors on the location of industries. The non-geographical factors are those including economic, political, historical, and social factors. These factors influence all modern industries to a great extent. Following are some reasons that I will mention the important non-geographical factor. The first one is capital. Modern industries are capital intensive and require huge investment. Capitalists are available in urban centers, big cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, Delhi, and Chennai. These are the big industrial center because the big capitalists live in these areas. Another one is government policies. Government activities in planning the future distribution of industries for reducing regional disparity, elimination of pollution of air and water, and for avoiding the heavy clustering in big cities has become no less an important locational factor. There is an increasing trend to set up all types of industry in an area where they derive common advantage of water and power and supply to each other. The latest example in our country is the establishment of a large number of industrial estates all over India, even in the small scale industrial sector. It is of relevance to examine the influence of India's 5-year plan on industrial location in the country. The emergence of suitable industries in South India around new nuclei or public sector plants and their dispersal to backward potential areas has taken place due to government policies. The state policy of industrial location has a greater hand in establishment of a number of fertilizer factories, iron and steel plants, engineering workers, and machine tool factories, including railway, shipping, aircrafts, and defense installations, and definitely oil refineries in various parts in the new planning era in free India. The third important non-geographical factor is the industrial inertia. Industries tend to develop at the place of their original establishment, though the original cause may have disappeared. This phenomena is referred to as inertia, sometimes as geographical inertia and sometimes industrial inertia. The lock industry at Aligarh is such example, which I am quoting. Another important factor is the efficient organization. Efficient and enterprising organization and management is essential for running modern industry successful. Bad management sometimes squanders away the capital and puts the industry in financial trouble, leading to industrial ruin. Bad management does not handle the labor force efficiently and tactfully, resulting in labor unrest. It is detrimental to interest of the industry. Strikes and lockouts lead to closure of the industries. Hence, there is an imperative need of efficient management and organization to run the industry. And fifth most important factor is the banking facility. Establishment of industry involves daily exchange of crores of rupees, which is possible through banking facilities only. So, the areas with better banking facilities are better suited to the establishment of industries. Another important factor is insurance. There is a constant fear of damage to machine or man in industries for which insurance facilities are badly needed. And during this COVID time, you might have observed that there are many small scale industries which got badly affected. And this era, industries indeed need insurance. At the end, we can say that role of various geographical and non-geographical factors is vital to the proper functioning of a manufacturing industry. It is not only one factor, but I can say that all the factors are correlated with each other, whether it is climatic conditions, availability of market, availability of water, or how government is planning to set up industry in any particular region or to promote an industrial unit in any region. All these factors promote industry's development.